Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live park episode of the Sample Hour. Sawyer-Ludwig Park here in Marion, Ohio. I'm here with my Facebook friend, Steve Harbolt.
Howdy.
And we've been meaning to link up. I'm donating some chestnut trees today to the cause. So how did you get into permaculture and small-scale farming and all that fun stuff?
Well, if we've got time, I'll start at the beginning. So I started, doing this prepping thing after my wife's like, hey, let's go camping. And camping was fun. I was like, why did my parents ever do this? So we went camping and we did all that stuff. And I was always looking for, the neatest, coolest things in camping, and stumbled upon this prepping deal and got hardcore into that and started a YouTube channel, and people started talking to me on YouTube. And I was like, whoa, wait. Isn't this kind of counterproductive to the prepper thing? So I shut everything down. And then it actually helped us when our first child was, or my wife was pregnant with our daughter, Lydia. She had to go on bed rest. So the money we saved up and the food we saved up in the pantry actually helped us in that time. And I was like, okay, this is really what that's about. So I was like, okay, well, let's grow our own food in the backyard. And my son actually liked broccoli. So I was like, okay, I'm going to grow him some broccoli. And I made some raised beds, a couple of 4x8 raised beds, and found out that I really enjoyed plants. Like I'd never, I knew where food came from and the whole 9 yards, but I never really did it for myself.
Yeah.
And, to watch him grow his own food and eat it was really awesome.
How did people start to figure out that in Marion, Ohio, that, okay, this Steve guy is into permaculture? How did that come about?
Nobody still knows.
Okay.
Yeah. Still nobody knows around here.
But one person knew, because that's how you got involved with the park.
Okay, so that would be Dan Stewart from the planning office, and his secretary or office manager is the actual title. Her name's Katie Steinberger, and she has been a family friend of my mother's since I was probably 3 or 4. And
Okay.
I've known her, and my mom's like, hey, you might want to get a hold of Katie because they're talking about a permaculture park. So I called her and I was like, hey, what's going on with this permaculture park? She's like, well, I'll get you in contact with Dan. And I talked to him and I said, hey, I want to be a part of this and help out as much as I can and whatnot. So he's like, yeah, he took all my information, and I waited and waited for him to, call me or email me saying, hey, we're going to do this on this day, or hey, this is the plan for this and whatnot. And it was last year, 2015, in July, during my vacation, I went back to the Appalachia area, and I stopped at Joel Salatin's. I was in the middle of nowhere.
So it's Polyface Farms.
Yeah.
You're on your way to Polyface Farms.
Right. And I was in the middle of nowhere, and I get a call from Dan, and he's like, hey, we can't get a hold of our designer for the park. You want in? I'm like, well, yeah.
That's awesome.
So
if people want to get a hold of you, Steve, what is the best way for people to reach out to you or to follow your work?
Facebook, honestly.
Yeah.
Steve Harbolt on Facebook, or J&S Polyfarms LLC on Facebook. That's where I do most of my, posting of what's going on, this, that, and the other. We also have J&S Polyfarms on Instagram. But yeah.
Awesome. Well, Steve, thanks for taking the time today and inviting us up here. That was a shitty handshake. Hold on, let me do it. There we go. But anyways, guys, thanks again for tuning in, and looking forward to bringing you another episode.